Hi everyone and good afternoon. I'm Nathan Season, the coordinator of the FEU Career and Placement Office. Welcome to another round of Pep Talk, the Pre-Employment Preparation Talk webinar series. This is our 13th episode. Pep Talk is a regular virtual series designed to prepare the graduating students for employment by equipping them with the necessary knowledge through talks touching on various topics delivered by industry professionals and experts. And on your screens now, you can see our previous Pep Talk webinars. You may rewatch them on your most convenient time at the Career and Placement official Facebook page. Today's webinar is being live streamed via Microsoft Teams. We are also live via FEU and the CAPO official Facebook pages. To participate in our question and answer part later this afternoon, you may submit your comments and questions anytime at our conversation page, which can be found at the right side of your screen if you're using a desktop, or at the live Q&A tab if you're using a mobile phone or other portable device. For our viewers watching through the FEU Facebook live streaming, you may also post your questions on the comment section as well. As we venture into our careers in this time of the new normal, three components must always be checked in order to be successful: giving a good first impression, having an appropriate and professional attitude, and possessing an impeccable interview skills. That is why in this episode, our topic is preparing for the new work setup, getting the right appearance, attitude, and interview skills. So please stick with us until the end of the program because you will surely learn a lot. And by the way, I'd just like to remind everyone to please make sure that your microphones are on mute, especially during the lecture proper to avoid causing any unnecessary noise. Thank you for your cooperation and enjoy the rest of the program. And now, ladies and gentlemen, at this point, I'd like to call on the Director of the Career and Placement Office to give her opening remarks. Please let us all welcome Ms. Maria Carmencita Beitsuva Alfonso. Ma'am, the screen is yours.
Thank you very much, Sir Nathan. Our distinguished speaker, our Senior Vice President, Maria Teresa Trinidad Tino, Vice President Joven Castro, deans, faculty members, students and co-employees, good afternoon and thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to join us today. The recent academic year showed us a preview of how things will be, even after the pandemic, where many might be able to cope with easily, some may endure hardships. As we shift to a new paradigm, adapting to this so-called new normal will largely depend on how prepared we are, especially our graduates. With this, the FEU Career and Placement Office, or CAPO, has designed a series of webinars to give the students the basics of working and finding a job amidst the new normal. We have also migrated online all other activities designed to help prepare our graduating students for the new world of work. The online mock interview with coaching last July, the online exclusive recruitment last August, the student exposure to industries this coming November, to name a few. We shall be posting all this in the official FEU social media sites and Canvas, so please check out our event posters and calendars. Let me show you a short video clip of Capo's lineup of activities for the rest of the year. Video please. For this episode titled Preparing for the New World of Work Setup, Getting the Right Appearance, Attitude, and Interview Skills, we are grateful to be joined once again by the CEO of JobStream, founder of the app that helps job seekers and employers find each other anytime, anywhere. We are indeed lucky to have her today as she will be able to give valuable contributions in equipping the students the basic know-how in preparation for the world of work. Capo believes that this topic should be discussed to prepare our graduates. and give them a better perspective of the world they are facing, one that is no longer the same as it was a few months back. And while it is not going to be easy to sort out the challenges in this new paradigm that we are in, always remember the mantra, be brave, because Tamarangs have always been resilient to whatever comes their way. And now, without further ado, allow me to introduce our speaker. She studied information technology at AMA Computer University. As a young adult, she was eager to explore the world and learn about other cultures, grabbing opportunities to work abroad in her early 20s. Starting her business career, she immigrated to Dubai and worked for 2 years in real estate development before moving to Canada to work as an OFW. During this journey, she continued her studies while working to gain more knowledge and experience. She graduated with the Network and Internet Security course from CDI College. With her motivation, she continued to acquire business intelligence certificate at the University of Calgary. By this time, she moved into technology sector and was employed by an IT consulting firm. With proficiency in CRM, virtualization, SQL, data security, project management network, architecture, and technical reporting, it is her combination of skills with these technologies that she became a very reliable analyst with various clients in Canada. Currently, with her spare time, she is devoting to UX/UI design course. Throughout her journey, she experienced many challenges when seeking opportunities both local and abroad. This became her inspiration and vision to help communities. That is where she decided to develop JobStream application. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to your screens the CEO and founder of JobStream Inc., Ms. Maridel Tremblay. Good afternoon, ma'am. Thank you
Good
for being
afternoon.
here.
Thank you so much for inviting me back, and thank you for your kind introduction. Thanks again for Capo for organizing this event. This is such a great topic, especially with the new normal, right? Over the past few months, there's a lot of changes pivoting, especially on candidates who's looking for jobs and even businesses, even schools. I bet you guys are pivoting a lot and um, coping with this new normal. So I'm here today to talk about the appearance, attitude, interview skills. They all matter, especially now. And I would like to share my own experiences because that's one of my passion. That's why I get into this business. And I have a bonus topic for you guys: digitalization, paperless, and video resume. But before we dig in into these exciting topics, next slide, please. This is me on this slide. This was last September 29. This was our launch in partnership with Spaces. So proud Filipino Canadian, by the way. So been in abroad for almost 15, I think 17 years now. So like you guys, I was struggling to find a job when I started JobStream. I went through a series of interviews, job fairs, lots of apps and websites, and I went through this journey and I noticed a lot of inefficiency, waste of time and energy. That's why JobStream was born. And this is my new daily mantra right now is my favorite quote. We have a new normal. As you move outside of your comfort zone, what was once the unknown and frightening becomes your new normal. Next slide, please. So, interview. Does anybody had any interview experience? Maybe getting an OJT or internship, or maybe looking for a job? Isn't it the most exciting, nerve-wracking, and it could be rewarding at the end of the day? But the good news is, the more you do it, the more you practice it, you can always get better at it. By definition, interview is essentially structured conversation where one participant asks series of questions and the other provides answer. There's lots of types of interview. There's panel interview, one-on-one interview, online interview, and phone interview. And I want to share my brief experience. When I was on my early 20s, I got a chance to work in a BPO industry, and I went through a series of different interviews, except online interview. Back then, it didn't exist. But I went to one-on-one panel and phone interview. So I failed multiple times. I think it took me 5 to 6 times because I didn't invest on myself. I wasn't prepared. That's why you guys are very lucky that FEU and CAPO is doing this series of webinar for you to be prepared to the real world. To be successful, you have to invest on yourself. And I am here today to give you some few tips. Next slide, please. For one-on-one or panel interview, it's pretty much similar. It's just the quantity of people. So obviously one-on-one is just one and then you guys are gonna normally in one room with your resume. And for panel interview, it could be 2 people, 3 people or more. So how to prepare an ace all interview? So one is research the company and the job position that you're applying for. So you guys have all internet for sure. Capitalize on that. Google the company that you're applying for and make sure that you at least have a high-level overview of the company, because it's really embarrassing when you go to an interview and you don't have any clue, right? Also, if you have a friend that's probably working on the company that you want to work with, it's probably better to ask some information or have an intimate conversation just to give you an overview or background of the company. Next is study your resume. I can't stretch this enough. Just for my own personal experience, I had to ask somebody to write my resume, and then it did not go well during the interview because I didn't know what's in the resume. So basically, iba yung sinabi ko and iba yung nasa resume. So again, at the end of the day, that's embarrassing and that's not good for you because as an applicant, you really want to impress the recruiter. Next, be presentable during the interview. I'm gonna go back to this later because we're gonna talk about the grooming and appearances. And just for the interview success, that's really important. Next is be honest and be yourself. You have to understand this. Recruiters are professionally trained. They are trained to make sure that you guys are being honest during the process. So the more you lie, they're just gonna keep digging on it. So it's like when your mom is asking, did you go to school, but you didn't, and they keep asking questions, right? So again, mapapahiya kayo if you just keep lying. And then, of course, take time to follow up, but not to the extent na nangungulit na kayo sa mga recruiters. So it could be 1 to 2 days after the interview and then have a little bit of rest, and then 4 to 6 days. You can follow up. Next slide, please. Practice your answer to the most common interview questions. So here's some questions that you can actually see. You can even Google this in the internet. So number 1 is tell me something about yourself. This is probably the first question that any interviewer will ask you. So you have to be prepared for that. Start out by giving an overview of your current position or activities, then provide the most important and relevant highlights from your background that make you most qualified for the role. Number 2, how would you describe yourself? When an interviewer asks you to talk about yourself, they're looking for information about your qualities and characteristics aligned with the skills they believe are required to succeed in the role. If possible, include quantifiable results to demonstrate how you use your best attributes to drive success. Number 3, what makes you unique? When employer often asks this question to identify why you might be more qualified than other candidates they're interviewing. To answer, focus on why hiring you would benefit the employer. Since you don't know the other applicants, it can be challenging to think about your answer in relation to them. Addressing why your background makes you a good fit will let employers know why your traits and qualifications make you well prepared. Number 4, why do you want to work here? Interviewer often ask this question as a way to determine whether or not you took time to research for the company and learn why you see yourself as a good fit. The best way to prepare for this question is to do your homework and learn about products, services, could have been mission, history, the culture of the company. In your answer, mention an aspect of the company that appeals to you and also aligns to you, and explain why you're looking for these things in an employer. Number 5, what interests you about this role? Like the previous question, hiring managers often include this question to make sure you understand the role and give you the opportunity to highlight your relevant skills. In addition to thoroughly reading the job description, it can be helpful to compare the role requirements against your skills and experience. Choose a few things you particularly enjoy or excel at your focus on those in your answer. Number 6 is what motivates you? Employer asks this question to gauge your level of self-awareness and ensure your sources of motivation align with the role. To answer, be specific possible, provide real-life experiences or examples, and tie your answer back to the job role. Number 7 is, what are you passionate about? Much like a previous question about motivation, employers might ask you what your passions about to better understand that drives you and what you care most deeply. This can both help them understand whether you are a good fit for the role and if it fits into a larger goals. To answer, select something that you are genuinely passionate about. Explain why you're passionate about it, give examples on how you've pursued this passion, and relate back to the job description. Number 8, why are you leaving your current job? If this applies to you, you can answer this one. Here's some tip. There are many reasons for leaving job. Prepare a thoughtful answer that will give your interviewer confidence that you're being deliberately about this job change. Instead of focusing on negative aspects of your previous role, focus on future and what hope or gain in the next position. Number 9, what are your greatest strengths? This question gives you the opportunity to talk about your technical skills and soft skills. To answer, share qualities and personal attributes and then relate them back to your role of which you're interviewing. If there's strength, there's also weaknesses. So number 10 is what is your greatest weaknesses? It can feel awkward to discuss weaknesses. Is an environment where you're expected to focus on your accomplishments. However, you answer them correctly, sharing your weaknesses can show that you are self-aware and want to continuously get better at your job. Traits that can extremely attractive to many employers. Remember to start with weakness and then discuss the measures you've taken to improve. This way, you're finishing your answers on a positive note. Next slide, please. All right, so online and phone interview. So now this is really huge because of the new normal. So a lot of interviews being done online. There's different platforms out there, but it doesn't mean that you're not going to be prepared. So number 1 bullet here is standard rules still apply. So from the previous slides that we discussed, that still apply whether it's online or phone interview. So number one is eliminate distraction. So make sure that you close the door, your windows, you shut the TV, or silent your cell phone. Make sure you don't have any application open if you're using your phone, or maybe if you're using laptop, make sure you just open the screen. Make sure that there's no notification that's coming in, because it's really quite distracting once you have different apps on your phone that's open. And again, this is a trained recruiter so they can see it. Next is banish pets and kids. You know, the barking dog who haunts every business meeting. For my personal experience, I'm not interviewing anything pero we had some issues before with my team where there's a crying kid, there is dog barking. So make sure you guys be aware of that, because you're looking for a job, so you really want to impress, right? So make sure that it's quiet, you're wearing nice clothes, and as if you're going to an interview. Next is find a neutral background. More than any other tip, pros said that careful attention to your background is absolutely crucial. A bedroom with a sloppy bed, a home office full of clutter, a kitchen table, all of those connote information about you to the interviewer. None of it is good. It's not only unprofessional, but it's also distracting to an interviewer. You'll be busy analyzing your dirty laundry instead of listening to what they're saying. So make sure your background, si Mami hindi nagluluto sa background ng kitchen or anything. So make sure walang mga ganong background. So you know your home very well, and you know kung ano yung corner that you can get a good signal. Make sure there's no distraction. Next is master your lighting. Getting perfect lighting for video can be very difficult in a home environment, but ideally you can aim for the following. Get plenty of light overall, so it doesn't look like you're cowering in dark, but not so much a light that creates glare on eyeglasses. Next, if possible, if you have lamps, position these two lamps in diagonal in front of you, one in a bit to your right and one on a bit to your left side. Table lamps work fine. Next is use natural light as possible. So if you're close to the window, make sure your cortina is wide open. Avoid fluorescent bulbs or other cool light sources. Eliminate any direct backlighting, like a window behind you, or avoid lighting shining direct over your head. Next is prioritize the camera, not the screen. This tip may sound counterintuitive, but it's most important that the interviewer see you clearly. Hindi yung interviewer yung sasabihin mo, paki-adjust yung screen mo. So it's you have to adjust. Again, you're looking for a job, right? And make sure, for sure, you're using a different gadget and she's using a different gadget. Next is test your gear. So before we had this live, we had a dry run. So like an interview, you have to make sure that your internet is working good if you're going to do an online interview. If you're doing a phone interview, make sure you have a good signal inside your home. So if possible, this is what I always advise my previous clients, always restart your modem as much as possible to make sure walang lag or anything. If you have to download, say, Microsoft Teams or Skype, do that in advance. Don't let them wait. Make sure that you have that pre-downloaded, you tested that. You have friends who also have phone, you can call them. Can you help me test this? Kasi I have interview tomorrow. Or you can ask for your family members. Next is keep your eyes forward. Again, this is parallel to eliminate distractions. If you have many screens, minsan maraming naka-open na mga apps or yung Facebook nyo or something, that's part of distraction. So make sure as if na nasa isang room kayo and you're looking to her eyes and you're sincere and you're being honest. Next is, if possible, if you think na mahina yung phone nyo or yung laptop nyo, wear some earbuds. So I had an experience, again, I'm not interviewing, but I was in a meeting where may umiiyak na ng baby, yung ventilador nakaano sa speaker. So lahat ng noise is na-absorb nung speaker. So as much as possible, you please wear some earbuds. And then, of course, practice. The beauty of technology is you can do it with my tips about the 10 common questions. Maybe ask your friend, hey, can you act as the interviewer? Can you ask me this question and ask? You can even record it and you can look at yourself na, okay, maybe I can improve more. So it's not on this, wala sa bullet form, but I can't stretch this enough. Please do not be late. Kasi if it's phone interview and online interview, there's no reason to be late. Diba? Kasi hindi na kayo magko-commute papunta sa office. So please make sure that you're always on time. Actually, at least 10 minutes prior to the interview. Dapat naka-online na kayo. Next slide, please. The next section is appearance matters. Proper grooming and professional appearance are important to both men and women. Lack of this may lead to poor image and can interfere with the company brand and reputation. Again, so whether you're working from home or into the office, make sure you look presentable at all times. Next slide, please. Professional appearance and grooming for the workplace. Please make sure, number one, to wear clean, appropriate, and presentable clothes. Number two, personal hygiene, especially nowadays, because of the new normal and the pandemic. Always be neat and clean, including your teeth, fingernails, face, hair, and even your shoes. Three is respect company's dress code and grooming policy. Once you get hired, human resource will go through a handbook, and please make sure that you always follow the rules of the company. Tattoos and body piercing are okay as a form of body art, but also please aware and understand that some companies are still conservative. Health and safety issues. Some companies are very strict when it comes to social distancing in the office. Make sure you always wear your mask if necessary, and always wear your mask. Wash your hands. So office, they have to take temperature before they go inside. They have to log it as per DOLE requirement. They have to wash their hands and they have to social distance. Next slide, please. Okay, so grooming and appearance. Just a quick tip, you guys. Dressing have an impact on self, colleague, and customer. Your clothes convey the message that are confident, presentable, and ambitious and sincere. Next slide, please. Okay. Workplace attitude in a new normal. Like si gumagana, catitude. So because of the pandemic, every businesses have to pivot. And even students, even schools, even churches, lahat. We were not prepared for this. But here's some tips for you guys. Every day, we should be grateful. There's lots of things na we can be very thankful for, right? So having a sense of gratitude, there are still things to be thankful for. For those who have job, be thankful for that. For those who do not, they have people around them who care for them. There are many other things to be thankful for. and awareness of good things in a sense of gratitude. Be prepared and accept new changes. You will have to change. You will have change happen to you whether you like it or not. So you must accept the reality. The good thing about the change is that prevents you from getting bored in a current role and challenges you to work on projects and that you haven't before. Like I said, this is all new to everybody. So maybe tomorrow there will be a new rule. I had this experience before from Canada coming back here, paulit-ulit yung changes ng immigration. Instead of being frustrated, you have to accept the change kasi they have to pivot din and they have to protect obviously yung country natin for coming in different people. Next is stay positive and optimistic. You always have to be optimistic and maintain a good attitude regardless of what new company, department, or group you're working with. Come to terms that your new situation might not be perfect, but your previous situation probably wasn't either. Think about how you can best leverage your skills, experience, and network to maximize your new role. If you have a negative attitude to your manager and coworkers will notice and they won't want to work with you. Next is develop adaptability, agility, and teamwork. It is the ability to show flexibility, openness, and willingness to respond according to the situation. And just having be a part of the team, especially now that because of the pandemic, some of the colleagues is probably working from home, some are from the office. So you have to be responsive, especially sa mga immediate supervisors nyo. Instead of just naka-idle lang kayo, if they need you to be online, please be online. And show some support dun sa ibang team members. Again, teamwork. We're all in this together, right? Next is always stay present and professional. Your full presence and attention matters. Since you are not physically present for people who are work from home, you need to show up in other ways. People can feel commitment and your energy across the computer screen, just as they can see you face to face. You need to do more than just to show up work or being online. You need to amplify your presence and truly show your energy. So for us, we had some few issues at the beginning because everybody's adjusting. We had some issues of being late. Everybody's working from home, and then we had to talk to them. Guys, again, we don't have any supposed to be an issue when it comes sa being late. Kasi work from home na nga, less commute. So be respective dun sa company. Kasi time is really important to them. And yung productivity, right? And make sure if you show up to work, if you go online, hindi naman yung nakapajama pa kayo. Paggising nyo sa instead na magsuot kayo ng uniform nyo or yung clothing nyo for work is nakapajama kayo. So act as if na you're going to the office. And at the end of the day, you'll feel good, you'll feel more productive. Next is always, stay professional. And as a leader, your presence always matters. Like I said, make sure na you're always on time, you're always connected sa team. Same, eliminate distraction and negative vibes, especially sa mga nagwo-work from home. Make sure no TV, no social media or texting. Yung productivity really matters, especially nowadays. So for months, many employers have required employees to work from home. Employees also have been supporting their children in online schooling, providing care to parents, limiting social contacts, wearing masks, and being cautious and aware of keeping themselves and their families healthy. When employees are asked to come back to work to the office, employers needs to be mindful on the mental health and challenges that they're going through. Fear, depression, anger, anxiety are all real consequences of the pandemic, especially because of the lockdown. So there you go. Some tips for you for the new normal and new attitude. Next slide, please. And here's the bonus topic. So for JobStream, we're pushing and promoting yung paperless resume. So what are the advantage of it is save time, save money, and accessible. It's easy to transfer information, and it promotes environment, less paper. Back in the days, I have to print siguro mga 30 resume at the time para lang mag-walk in. So yung new generation ngayon is very lucky kasi they have the ability, we have Google Drive, OneDrive, just to send it via email. So yeah, next slide. And the other thing that we're promoting is video resume. Everybody has cell phone now. So instead na pang TikTok nyo yung cellphone nyo, let's make a use diba, to promote employment. So in JobStream, you have the ability to download video resume. So when you say video resume, hindi mo videohan yung resume mo. It's an actual video of yourself or a video profile. It's an enhancement of a traditional resume and offers the opportunity for the job seeker to create a lasting impression. It enables the candidates to showcase their skills and gives the employer a glimpse of candidates' personality. Just a quick history, it was dated back in the 1980s, nung meron pang VHS or Betamax. But it was really expensive back then. Kaya we're very lucky this generation kasi you can always take a video of yourself. You can even repeat it over and over again hanggang sa ma-perfect mo yun. So the advantage of video resume is the opportunity to showcase your abilities, a compact answer to everything that the recruiter wants to know, especially if you're wanting to work for sales or something. You can always showcase yung personality mo. And it enables to create customized first impression. It also exposes the willingness to learn and to keep up with current trends, and ensuring better visibility and create a lasting impression. Talagang magsa-stand out kayo, di ba? So yeah, instead of TikTok, do a video resume, download the app, upload it, and talagang magsa-stand out kayo sa crowd instead of the traditional video resume. Next slide, please. So here's some tips to do resume. Like an interview, make sure you guys dress up. Choose a clean background. Make sure si mother hindi nagluluto sa background, si walang nagsasabong sa likod or something. Meron akong napanood sa YouTube nagre-record siya ng video resume, may tumitilaok na manok. So it's actually funny. Next is practice for perfection. So every interview, diba, you have to practice. The beauty of it is you can do it even 5 times, 6 times, 10 times more para lang ma-practice nyo yung ano. And you can always show it to somebody and see like, is this good? And then normally it's good to be to upload a video a minute maximum na yon. So show more, show your talk about your qualities, your characteristics, your ability, your technical skills. So talk less. They don't need yung mahabang introduction. And then of course, again, the beauty of technology is always edit well. So we have that ability sa mga cellphones natin. It's getting really sophisticated. So okay. There you have it, guys. Thank you again for joining me, and thank you again, FEU, Capo, Nathan. Thank you so much for inviting me back.
Thank you very much, Ma'am Maridel. Wow, I definitely learned a lot again from your talk. and now with a bonus topic as well, and of course adding the aspect of attitude in the new normal. So I'm sure our students have a lot of questions, our audience. So at this moment, we shall be entertaining questions from our audience. Allow me to read them to you, ma'am. So our first question is from an anonymous student: how to lessen the feeling of nervousness and stutter when answering questions during an interview? Even though the applicant has really prepared and embraced all of your tips, ma'am, pero yung iba hindi maiwasan na kinakabahan. So, how to lessen that feeling?
Alam mo, that's true kasi even ako, I've done a lot of talks and lagi akong kinakabahan kasi that's yung lumalabas ka dun sa comfort zone mo, di ba? So the more you do it, the more you practice it. Pero yung minsan, nandun ka na sa environment na again, bago sa'yo, so yung nerves mo na gano. I always do inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Tapos, ine-exercise ko yung jaw ko para hindi ako mag-stutter and again, yung breathing, kasi minsan pag hino-hold natin yung breath natin, minsan nag-a-appear siya sa harap ng mga recruiter. So, guys, I failed so many times sa interview. So, you don't have to beat yourself up kapag minsan, maybe it's not for you, di ba? So, but again, practice. That's why we have all this, mga series of webinars, di ba? So, again, and you have, I'm very happy kasi yung FEU, you guys have the organization na nagpo-promote nito. Back then, wala. So, yeah.
Thank you, Ma'am Maridel. Yeah, very inspiring. By the way, guys, we also have an online mock interview with coaching also here at the Career and Placement Office. So please stay tuned and check the Facebook page kasi we're gonna launch another set this November po. So you guys can practice. Tama yung sinabi ni Ma'am Maridel. Thank you, ma'am. And another question is, how do employees or employers measure an employee whether they are burned out? I think one of the concerns kasi is yung mental health ng mga trabahador, di ba, in preparation for that. Ang daming parang pagod, stress. So how do employers measure the employees whether they are burned out po?
For me, based dun sa, at least sa company namin, we always have Friday session. So chill lang. So we have open forum now. We don't actually talk about, may section kami ng team meeting na we don't talk about work. Pero we always talk about how are you guys? Kasi di ba ilang months na kayo hindi nakakalabas, work from home. So, and then I had an event na parang nagpa-small gathering ako, parang chill lang, nagpa-deliver. So obviously bawal kasi yung big gathering. And just make sure na have a safe environment sa mga employees na really para maka-vent out sila. Meron akong employee na parang nagsasawa na siya sa work from home. Parang gusto niya na maka-meet ng bagong tao or something. So really checking yung mental health is really important and ask them one by one na mostly human resource ang gumagawa niyan. They should have na parang one-on-one session to make sure they're okay. Iba-iba yung circumstances ng tao. So, and if you think na you're not getting that, you can always reach out naman sa human resource na, hey, I'm feeling burnt out. Maybe that's the time na you have initiative. Kasi hindi rin maganda sa atin yung stress ka sa work, stress ka sa bahay, stress ka sa lahat, di ba? So maybe you're the one should reach out if nakikita mo na kulang sa company mo yun. Just reach out and maybe you can talk to your supervisor about it.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. And another question. Okay, aside from IQ and EQ, what other quotients or aspects should be considered to have a holistic work experience? Madalas kasi ang focus is intellect and
Yeah. So kami, ang last na namin is nagpa-hiking ako. Something na you can do it again. You can just feel the nature. Galit na galit nga sila yung iba sa akin kasi parang again, parang new sa kanila yon, pero sinabi ko sa kanila na here's the benefits of it. Kasi I love nature personally. So, sinishare ko sa kanila na parang, yeah, you don't like to walk, pero ito yung benefit, no? If you wanna, go away, let's have a silent moment, diba? It's really good to have some fresh air naman once in a while. Biruin mo yung technology na lang tayo, cellphone, laptop, TV. So it's really good na sometimes sa company is to do something different. And as a employee or team member, you should have an open mind. Na minsan ayaw mo yung team building. Pero you should keep your mind open sa mga activities na ganun. Kasi at the end of the day, nung nag-hiking kami, lahat sila nag-enjoy. The other thing too na I really want to push through is volunteer. It's really nice to volunteer and give back, especially nowadays. I'm actually organizing something na pwede ako makapag-give back sa community.
Okay, sige. How can interviewees cope up with rude interviewers and vice versa?
So, sorry, can you repeat that?
How can interviewees cope up with rude interviewers?
Rude interviewers. So maybe you can politely ask yung interviewer na, di ba? Is it parang personal or out of the blue na yung question? Maybe they can confront yung interviewer, pero politely, kasi if the emotions gonna kick in, bakit ang rude mo, di ba? Then magkakaroon na ng parang back and forth na, no? So maybe you can ask na parang maybe they can be a little bit nicer or yung confrontation, pero in a really polite way naman. Same as the din naman, di ba? Job seeker or candidate.
Okay, sige. This one, it's a very timely question then about interview. Is it okay po ba to speak in Filipino or Tagalog during an interview?
So, mostly kasi English is yung preferred na, and it really depends dun sa industry na pinapasukan mo. If you're going to a BPO company, syempre, and mostly yung clients nila are from North America or they really prefer English. It is sometimes better talaga na English kasi dun mahasa yung communication skills. And again, para mahasa yung pag-handle mo ng customer, who knows, di ba? Parang makapag-handle ka ng Americans, Canadian, or anybody. So, you can all practice din naman. Di ba? That's why we have all the top 10 common question. And there's so many, guys. If you Google, meron pa nga ako nakita na 100 questions na you can always practice.
Okay. And also in relation to that, do you recommend, ma'am, that we memorize our answers for the interview questions, or will this be a turn off if the recruiter notices that it is rehearsed or memorized?
They will definitely know. Like I said, guys, these are all professional trained recruiters. So what would I suggest is have some talking points. You don't really need to memorize, pero of course, you have to practice way in advance, di ba? Pero minsan kasi with the environment, mas kinakabahan ka. So yung memorize mo, nawala na sa isip mo, di ba? So just have, your resume naman eh. They're not gonna ask you out of the blue question, well, except for behavioral sometimes. Pero just be honest, di ba? And make sure na para hindi ka magpanic sa is yung pag sobrang rehearse or over-rehearse, minsan nagpapanik tayo hanggang sa nagsastutter na. So having a talking points is actually helpful.
Okay. And then this one, we have a question. How do I build confidence po? I was asked in an interview to sell myself, but I am not comfortable talking about me, myself. So I felt uncomfortable in the interview po kasi I couldn't say anything. Baka kasi mayabangan sila sa akin. Oo nga, may mga ganun po. No? So how should I deal with that?
So, parang mayayabangan. just be parang rude ang dating.
And di ba sometimes some people when they talk about them na I can do this, I can do that, and then I'm like this, I'm like that. Baka ang dating is yung sa delivery na baka mayabangan daw yung nag yung nag-interview. So how do I deal with that? And sometimes yung iba because of that mentality, nahihiya tuloy sila mag-sell ng sarili nila.
I would suggest yung tone and pace nung ano, kasi minsan pag yung tone mo masyadong mataas, akala nila nagmamayabang ka. So, it's really yung tone and pace, and make sure na it's really good to highlight kasi yung mga skills, may technical skills, soft skills. So, and again, you're trying to get a job, di ba? So, you have to highlight kung saan ka nagsashine. And that's what you're selling sa mga employers, sa mga recruiters. So I would suggest yung pace and tone is really important during the interview. Actually, si Nathan, sinabihan niya ako for, second time na nag-talk ako, masyado ko mabilis magsalita. So from then on, nag-ano na ako, nag-pace na ako. Every time na nag-talk ako, naisip ko si Nathan kasi siya yung nagbigay sa akin ng tips when it comes sa public speaking.
So maybe asking feedback din po no, from other people is also helpful. Katama yun tone din.
Yes, yeah.
Thank you, ma'am. If ito, tapusin ko lang guys yung sa interview part po, no? If you can't answer a specific follow-up question, how do you respond to the interviewer?
Can you, sorry?
If you cannot answer a specific follow-up question, how can you respond to the interviewer? Ano yung best way para hindi naman magmukhang lag kasi hindi ko masagot yung follow-up ng interviewer?
Just there's some instances talaga na you cannot answer, you don't have any answer to specific questions. So just be honest. Kasi instead of mag-iimbento ka ng answer or parang again mag-iimbento ka ng story, that's have more negative effect than being answer. Sorry, I do not have answer for that, or hindi ko na experience pa yung specific, and hindi ko pa na-encounter yung specific question. I'm sorry, I don't have an answer for that. So that's okay din naman po being honest dun sa interview. Especially pag new graduate ka or freshly graduate, may mga questions na parang wala pang akong experience sa work eh. So, but that's okay. You guys will always get better when it comes sa interview.
Thank you. So guys, don't forget online mock interview with coaching. Join that. So another question, given the choice between online and face-to-face interview, which one is more beneficial or advantageous in your experience?
So may pros and cons kasi. So pag online interview, again, you can actually have a cheat sheet nga na parang meron kang talking points dito, di ba? So, and maganda nun is you can record yourself na rin in advance na parang how do I look sa camera, yung ano. Dun din nabibuild kasi yung contents. You can also reach out sa friend mo or something na practice tayo. So, ang maganda lang sa actual setting na is you feel more professional. Actually, I prefer yung face-to-face kasi dun mo mafe-feel yung setting and less distraction, to be honest with you guys. Kasi ando ka, yung presence mo nandun. Diba? So, yun yung pros and cons nung pagiging online and offline. Pero for me personally, I prefer yung one-on-one interview.
And then we also have a question about video resume. Dalawa silang nagtanong nito. So in making a video resume, can an applicant create and edit a creative video resume or just a basic and plain video about me?
So what do you mean na creative? Yung iba-iba yung background or... So I've seen lots of types of resumes. So you can be creative kasi you really want to stand out naman, di ba? So I've seen one na nag-create na parang meron siyang mga talking points kasama ng video kasi you can edit it. So parang may lumalabas sa video na parang ito yung technical skills ko, so hina-highlight niya. So you can do that as well. Pero don't overdo it naman every time na ano. So you want to be more authentic when it comes sa pag-upload ng video resume.
And then, just a follow-up question on that, ma'am. No? It depends still pa rin sa company po. Tama po ba? Like, there are companies who still prefer the document type of resume. Tapos may iba na open, tsaka depende sa industry. Tama po ba?
Yes, that's correct. Kasi again, depende sa industry and yung job title na pinapasokan mo. One na beneficial ang video resume is if you're going to do customer service or sa sales, yung talagang ipo-project mo yung, i-showcase mo yung sarili mo, di ba? Or if ikaw yung magiging face ng company, di ba? Makikita ka nila in advance, oh, this is how she's gonna interact with clients. So, yeah.
Tapos ngayon nga parang dumadami rin yung sa TikTok. Napapanood ko yung nag-voice over, parang flexing their talents. Yun siguro yung isa sa mga trabaho kung saan advantageous yung video resume. Okay, and our last question po, siguro ma'am, just one more general advice to our job seekers, future job seekers, FEU students. One general advice po, cap it all up.
So with the new normal, so like I said, we're all pivoting. Walang playbook dito, walang manual for this new normal. So I just hope everybody will stay positive. And if you fail sa first interview, second interview, just don't quit. That's really important. Don't quit during the interview. Like I said, I've been there, done that, and until now, student pa rin ako ng mga ganyan. Kasi you have to practice it. Practice, di ba? So yeah, moving forward, stay positive. We're gonna get through this lahat. So hopefully, next year will be a better year for all of us. So, makagala na ula sila sa U-Belt. Hopefully.
Thank you very much, Miss Maridel Tremblay. That's very inspiring and we really learned a lot. And thank you as well to all our students for all of your questions. I'm afraid we have run out of time. So our speaker spoke about how to prepare for the new world of work by focusing on 3 important areas: interview, appearance, and attitude. Ms. Maridel gave us the basic know-hows of how to ace the interview. One can do so by utilizing the internet to research the company and job position you will be applying in. And also remember to study your resume. Look at your strengths and capitalize on that. And as you do so, remain honest and show your authenticity. By doing this, it will allow you to flawlessly answer interview questions because you have prepared by knowing your core. There are also common interview questions that were discussed earlier, so you may start preparing answering those based on what you have learned today. As you go for a virtual interview, study your environment. Make sure there are no distractions and of course that your signal is good and stable. Don't let your recruiters wait. Dress to impress according to our speaker also, even if it's a virtual or physical, your appearance matter, and when applying for work, your initial appearance has a big impact towards your application success. And as for the winning attitude, it is a must to be ready, flexible, punctual, and have a positive outlook. Keep in mind that in order to be successful, you have to invest in yourself. Part of that investment is really to prepare. And in addition, our speaker also spoke about the advantages and how to make a video resume, which is now one of the ways to stand out in the pool of applicants. Lastly, sabi nga ni Ma'am Maridel, the world has experienced a drastic change. We now have a new normal. So as you move outside to what was once unknown, this now becomes your new normal. There you have it, and that concludes our pep talk for today. And in behalf of the FEU Career and Placement Office, we would like to thank Ms. Maridel Tremblay for her precious time, and also to SHS Communication Services, Kapos official digital partner. Thank you too to our students, faculty members, and employees for joining us. We do hope that you have learned a lot from this webinar, and I hope that you will join us again in our future Pep Talk episode. Our next topic is how to write a winning resume with Mr. AJ Avanias of Caliber. That will be on November 5, 2020, Thursday. Yes, that will be on Thursday po next week. Just check the Career and Placement Office Facebook page from time to time for updates. And as we end, may we invite everyone to join us in singing the FEU hymn.